However, what we require you to do is to make sure you have the PLE result slip, because it is the index number of PLE that we use as we use purpose of identification of a learner. So there's a unique identifier for every learner for continuous assessment, and this is based on the PLE result slip, the PLE index number.
True.
So as long as you have your PLE result slip and you transfer to another school, what the new school needs to do is to receive confirmation from the old school that the scores have all been submitted to UNEB up to date, and then from there should be good to go. So that is all. From there you should receive the learner who wants to transfer from school X to school Y. So even transferring is very easy. Deadlines are very critical for us, but at this point in time, there's no surcharge. Nobody needs to pay for any submission of any scores. So we request that please schools don't get money from parents unnecessarily. We don't want to make this curriculum unnecessarily expensive. Everything is free as long as you submit to your name. You can either use the tool and bring the CD directly to your name, or you can do the offline and then use your portal to forward the information to your name. So this is now where everybody has got to do their public relations, because for us, your name does not get involved into the administrative arrangements of the schools. I want to make it clear here that what your name does is embedded in the curriculum. The grading system was all birthed in the curriculum. Your name simply comes out to implement what the curriculum recommended. So now, because the curriculum has changed from the content-based to competence-based, and we have the continuous assessment and all that, even the grading first of all, the assessment had to change, and the grading also had to change. So we moved away from the Division 1, Division 2, Division 3, and then the 9s and of our days of long ago. Yeah. And now we are into this new system where we are grading, where the learners have been. First of all, like I said, there's a computation of 20% for continuous assessment, and then 80% of the end of cycle assessment by UNEB, and then the standalone project, which is also in grading of A. So the grading is in terms of letter grades. So we have A, where A is exceptional. Let's say there are parameters which are given. Let's say we had to jump, to jump the long jump. Let's say you're jumping 6 meters from here. You're supposed to jump 6 meters. And Malay is able to jump 5.5. That is really exceptional. So we shall grade you as exceptional. You qualify for an A. And then Jennifer is able to jump 4.5 out of the 6. Jennifer is outstanding, not as good, not as exceptional as Malay is, but she's outstanding. So she'll get a grade B. And then another Moses is able to jump 3. 3 is not as outstanding as Jennifer's, but satisfactory. 3 out of 6 surely satisfactory. So they are going to be given a C. And then Alex is going to 2 is basic, not so bad, but it is fair enough. They can go to next level. They're going to be given D. 1, elementary, clearly below average, but they've done something, because somebody who has jumped up to 1 is not the same as somebody who has not jumped at all. So we cannot say that Jennifer is not able to jump at all. Jennifer is able to jump, but she can only go as far as 1 or 1.5, which is slightly below the average of 2. So that is really just like, it is elementary, but they can do something. We don't want to discourage Jennifer and telling them you have an F9 and they are disoriented for the rest of their lives. They're told they are failure. The new system, the new curriculum is not about grading people and branding them as failures. Some of people have had terms of brand as failures, and they found it hard to break through.
Sure.
So this is about encouraging somebody as far as you can, up till 1.5. We think if you could try it another time, you're able to continue and you can get up to 3 or even 4 or even 6 or even 5.5. So we encourage them. So if you're elementary, we encourage you, I think you can reach a second try. You've been able to acquire these competencies, but we think you can do better. However, if you don't want to try this, then you can divert and branch and go to another level and do something else, because much as you aren't able to jump these 6 meters or 5.5 meters, you are able to speak. And you're good at Luganda. You are good at expression. You are good at drawing, at fine art. So we think you can be able to join maybe this other vocational institute. Much as I'm not able to get mathematics, because it's very, for lack of a better word, it is not right for us to say because Jennifer is not competent in mathematics, it's not right for you to say that I am not good enough. Fine, I'm not good enough in mathematics, but I'm not completely useless. I can be able to come before you here and speak my Luganda and express myself. I can be able to go and do community mobilization. I can be able to go and do maybe some bit of welding. I can be able to make slippers out of the materials I have. So project work, I am good. I'm good at see what in my project work, and I can show that I'm able to use the knowledge acquired and use my hands to come up with something that can benefit this community. So it's not right for you to brand me as a failure simply because I failed mathematics, but I'm able to do other things. That's where the difference is. So the grading is better grading based on the exceptional, where it is exceptional, and we assume that somebody is able, has the demonstrate extraordinary levels to innovatively and creatively use the skills acquired in real life situations. That's someone who is extraordinary. That is the A. And then the B, outstanding. They're able to use the skills acquired in an outstanding way in real life situations. And then C, satisfactory. They are good enough. They're satisfactory. Any employer would want somebody who is satisfactory. Maybe they are learnable. They are able to teach. They're teachable. They're able to learn. They can come over here and they can say they can't express themselves so well, but they're able to learn. They have the basic skills acquired. They have the basic skills, and we can do with that. And the basic, just the bare minimum. So for employers, you want to look out and see what are the competencies, what are the abilities, apart from the content, apart from Jennifer knowing what Archimedes principle does. You know, what is she able to use the Archimedes principle, that kind of thing. So that is basically why this curriculum is supposed to help the learners identify positioning in the job market, but also the employers are able to identify and look out for the skills that they want, not just to get somebody who just gets who knows the quality, but they're not able to apply it in real life situations. Because in real life situations, employers are looking out for people who are hands-on, who are able to move the organization to another level, who are able to apply and be innovative in a given situation in a dynamic environment. So now, after doing the letter grading, Malay can have so many A's and many B's and many C's and all that. What we are saying that we are not here to brand people as failures. They failed or not failed. So if somebody has a minimum of at least a D, which we said is satisfactory. If you have a minimum of at least a D in any of the subjects offered, then you're going to be in result 1, and you qualify to go to the next level. Which next level can be the senior 5.
Yes.
It can be the college level. It can be in a vocational institute or whatever the case may be, depending. Now at that level, let's say you're going to do nursing. Now the nurses will be the ones to judge and say that for us, if somebody is going to take this course in nursing, we want somebody who has this kind of thing they will do their own competition. I'll give you an example. We've received inquiries from police and prisons, and they're saying we are recruiting. We need some guidance on what all this is about. So for them, they have their own criteria. And they say when they're recruiting somebody in the police, we want somebody who has at least maybe accurate in XYZ. So now what UNEB does, will give them say, well, we think the credit is at this level.
Okay.
At this level. It is not like a standard, depending on the institution and what they are recruiting for, or what they what they are bringing on board people for.
Okay.
Now, result 1. So everybody who fulfills the requirements of your name, and they have at least a D in one of the 8 subjects.
Okay, a D in one of
the 8 subjects. So you could have gotten D
throughout, but at least for the 8.
Yes, it shows you are satisfied. Because the idea is you are satisfied in at least one of the subjects. So it's not like you're not good at all. You're not unable completely. No, if you're satisfied in one of the subjects, it could be literature in Luganda, it could be literature in Lunyankula, you have additional subjects. Then we are saying that is the competence we want to say how to help you move on to the next level, to develop the competence you have, the abilities you have, and get you to another level, other than discouraging you completely that you have failed. Then result 2 goes to people who fail to fulfill the requirements for the board. This includes people who may have failed to submit the scores for continuous assessment, failed to submit the scores for the project, or you fail to meet the minimum of 8 subjects. God forbid if you fail seeking examinations and you did only 7 out of the 8 subjects. You will not qualify to get a certificate. But you will get a transcript, because the transcript is like the equivalent of the result. It simply spells out what did Malik get in mathematics, in English, in literature, in physics, and all that. So everybody who registers with your name qualifies to get a transcript. It is a way of accountability that if
it's a proof of sitting exams.
Thank you. Actually, proof of even registering. And even the ones who registered and did not receive for examinations, we shall also have transcripts for them and show, because they have CS scores. We don't want to put in the CS scores for them. But it's proof that you actually registered. We did register 400,000 learners at this level. However, at the end of the day, we had 490 city examinations. So we are 490 city examinations. And now we are accounting for the 10 who did not sit for the examination, but they did register with us. So for everybody who registers with us, you qualify to get a transcript. And everybody who sits for the examination, you qualify to get a transcript. But if you do not fulfill all the requirements of the 8 subjects, of the 8 subjects, the continuous assessment scores, the project work, then you are not going to sit for, you're not going to be awarded a certificate. That is what is good. That's where we have in result 2.
Okay.
Now, result 3, we have people who have failed to make it, who do not have a minimum of an E, or rather of a D.
Okay.
So they may have just the E's. That is result 3. They do not have at least 1 D. Remember that one said you have at least 1 D. Result 2, you may have some D's or some whatever, but you do not have the bare minimum of the requirements of the board. So you're going to be in result 2. Now, result 3, you do not have even a D. Preferable to those who can recommend to do the repeat. We are saying yes, you have some bit of competencies, some abilities, but you can do better. You can try. You can try it out if you give it one more try, one more chance. So I want to encourage such people in result 3 to actually go ahead and repeat. When you are repeating, you do not have to go back to senior 1 like some people have been alleging. When you are repeating, you're going to repeat from senior 3. No, senior 4, sorry. You're going to repeat from senior 4. Senior 3, because we already have your scores for CA for senior 3. So you don't have to go back to senior 3. You have to go back, just repeat the senior 4, and you go on and do the CA score, CA for senior 4. We can continue with your project work, and we can continue with your CA scores from senior 3. So learners should be free to repeat if they want to repeat, or they can branch and go to another institution if the institution is ready to take them on at that level. As a board, we do commit to continue assessing learners in a professional way and in an innovative way. We keep being innovative, and we stand by our mandate to conduct valid, reliable, equitable, and quality assessment of the achievements of learners to ensure that you get certificates which are recognized not just nationally but also regionally and globally. So trust us to do that. And we want to ask everybody, first of all, say thank thank you very much to everybody who has been part of this assessment journey for the new curriculum, quality competence-based assessment. We've had lots of support from the parents themselves, from the media practitioners, from the learners, and from the teachers and from the schools. Everybody, at first, people are not so sure whether we are going to do assessment or not. But when we did the pre-testing and we set up the sample papers, then they were like, oh yeah, this is serious, this is real. So fortunately, by the time the final assessment came, the learners were not shocked. They knew, they had an idea of the kind of samples we were going to, the kind of questions that we were going to ask. So they were very, they were on board really. So I want to thank everybody for this support, and I want to ask that we keep supporting our learners to do their projects. And I want to ask the schools, please don't make this unnecessarily expensive. That is why we are seeing that our utilization of resources in available resources. Let's help the learners come up with projects within the available resources in the most cost-effective way. Let's try and not make this curriculum expensive. Let's make it affordable, because the whole idea is to make them use the resources available, but also the knowledge acquired in a way that is accessible within their own environments. So let's be supportive of the learners. And in case you've not been able to submit the scores for CA for senior, for the current senior force, portals are still open. Please go ahead and submit the scores. Thank you so much for this opportunity.